What is up, my friends, and you are very welcome along to another installment of Everything You Need to Know About. And today we're going to be giving you everything you need to know about Xabi Alonso. Currently Bayer Leverkusen coach, but hopefully in the future Liverpool coach. He is tipped to take over from Jurgen Klopp when he departs in the summer, and I'm going to give you a rundown of his playing career, why it gave us great indications that he was going to become a coach, and why I think he will be a good fit for Liverpool Football Club. We'll take a little look at the formations that he likes to play as well. But of course, we want to know your thoughts. So after watching the video, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. Drop a like if you enjoy it. And most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. So here we go. Everything you need to know about Xabi Alonso. So his full title is Xabi Alonso Olano, and I didn't know that until I did this research, but we know him of course as Xabi Alonso. He was born on the 25th of November 1981, making him just a couple of months younger than myself at a sprightly 42 years of age. Now obviously we know him as the Xabi Alonso that was brought in by Rafael Benitez to Liverpool from Real Sociedad, but that's where the trophies really started to flow for Alonso, and this is just a little summary of what he achieved as a player. So with Liverpool, he won the FA Cup in 2005-2006, followed by the Community Shield also in 2006. The biggest highlight of course came in Istanbul in 2005, where he was part of the team that came back from 3 goals down to beat AC Milan. And I'm not going to hold it against him that he missed a penalty because he scored the rebound, but what a night that was. I'm sure you've heard of it, the Miracle of Istanbul. Rings a bell, right? Also on top of that, he won the Super Cup at Liverpool in 2005 as well, before he moved on to Real Madrid. Now, I should say, before we talk about his move to Real Madrid, we have to address the elephant in the room. The bit of a fallout between himself and Rafael Benitez. Rafa wanted to bring Gareth Barry into the club, and it's believed that there was a bit of a fallout because Xabi Alonso wanted to be present at the birth of one of his children, and Rafa thought that he should stay with the team. That's what folklore says anyway, but whatever the reasoning, he did indeed depart for Real Madrid, where he again won a whole host of honours. Some of those honours include winning La Liga in 2011-2012, the Copa del Rey in 2010-2011, and in 13-14 he won a Supercopa de España in 2012 and the UEFA Champions League in 13-14, meaning he already had 2 Champions League in the bag. Now, what you'll figure out over the course of this, when I go through more of the honours, of course, club and internationally, is that between myself and Xabi Alonso, well, we've won everything there is to win in world football. I'll let you decide who has the bigger share of that, but between us we've won everything. So he did then move to Bayern Munich from Real Madrid, where he won the Bundesliga title in 14-15, 15-16 and 16-17. Just going to show you there how easy it is to win the German league if you're playing for Bayern Munich. He also won the German Cup, the DFB Pokal in 2015-2016 and the Super Cup in 2016. In Spain, with the international team, well, again, he won everything there is to win. World Cup winner in 2010 and the Euros winner with Spain in 2008 and 2012. What a period that was for Spanish football. 2008 European champions, 2010 World Cup, and then backing it up with another European Championship in 2012. So that's his playing career, but how did he get his first taste in management? We'll move on to that now. So, as I mentioned, as a player, he did earn and win a lot of titles, but he also played under some really important managers that helped shape his coaching. Those managers included Rafael Benitez, Jose Mourinho, Carlo Ancelotti, Manuel Pellegrini, Pep Guardiola and Vicente Del Bosque. And like most players who go into coaching, he took a little bit from each one of those managers. Now, how did he get into the managerial world, and what can we expect if indeed he does come to Liverpool? Let me take you through that now. So he retired from football in 2017 and gained his UEFA Elite licence alongside Xavi Hernandez of Barcelona. What he did next was go back to Real Madrid, where he did coach their under-14 team initially. That was his first taste of coaching. Then though, he moved back to Sociedad, where he took over the Sociedad B team. They were in the 3rd division of Spanish football at that time, and it's important to point out that B teams in Spain can only go as high as the Segunda division, which is the 2nd division. They're not allowed to get promoted all the way up to the Primera division. And that's where indeed he did take Sociedad, as he guided them to promotion to the 2nd tier of Spanish football. Now, they did get relegated back down to the 3rd tier before he departed, but it was always promising signs early on there for Xabi Alonso. Alonso that he was a coach that had something about him. A few months into the 2022-23 season, Xabi Alonso was announced as the manager of Bayer Leverkusen. They weren't in a very good position at the time he signed up for them. They were second from bottom in the Bundesliga, and he very quickly turned Leverkusen's fortunes around, making them go as high as 6th in the league table at the end of that campaign and qualifying them for the Europa League, where they would go on to reach the semi-finals. This season up until this point with Bayer Leverkusen, I've seen Xabi Alonso quite simply remain unbeaten as I record this in every single competition. They're 10 points clear at the top of the Bundesliga, looking to break that dominance of Bayern Munich. They're also in the quarterfinals of the Europa League and still in the German Cup as well. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he's the only manager, and that's the only team in the top 5 divisions of European football still unbeaten. Are you still not convinced? Okay, in a moment we'll go on and break down his tactical acumen. So now we move on to what way does Xabi Alonso like to set his teams up? What are his formation? What are the attributes of him as a coach? And what may we expect if indeed he does become Liverpool manager? So as a coach, he's always shown a willingness to adapt his systems based on the players at his disposal and the quality of those players. That probably sounds like a very simple thing, but there are other coaches who just come into a club, have a preferred system, and try to shoehorn players into it. That hasn't really been the case with Xabi Alonso. He's best known for his preferred 3-4-2-1 system at Bayer Leverkusen, but in his earlier days as Sociedad B coach, he did implement and use a 4-3-3 system. So a question that many of you guys have, and a question that I ask myself is, if he becomes Liverpool manager, are there any similarities to the way we currently play? The answer to that is yes and no. Yes, from the point of view of he does like to counter press. He does try to get his players to win the ball back as high up the pitch and defend from the front, similar to Jurgen Klopp. Simple analogy there is if you win the ball back, the closer to the opposition goal you are, the less distance you have to put the ball in the net. It sounds simple, but gegenpressing done at its best is a beautiful thing. That's kind of where the similarities with Jurgen Klopp come to an end. You can see the influence of Pep Guardiola all over the way Alonso coaches. His teams are more influenced on that possession style of play, looking to make precise movements. Every single player on that pitch knows exactly where he has to be at any given moment in transition from attack and defence. In his 4-2-3-1 system, the midfield double pivot is really important. When attacking, one of the midfielders will join the attack and act as an additional number 10, which helps support the lone striker. At Leverkusen, he initially changed to a 3-4-3 formation, the system he utilised during the latter part of his tenure as Real Sociedad's B coach. One difference between the deployment of his 3-4-3 system at Leverkusen was that Alonso asked his 2 number 10s to drop back into midfield to create a box midfield. Now, you've heard us talk about that at times at Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp this season, that box midfield, the 2 and 2. So this helped Leverkusen overwhelm their opponents in midfield and allowed the wing-backs to move further up the pitch into more advanced attacking positions. Now, if indeed Xabi Alonso does become the next Liverpool manager, we can probably expect him to play with some variation of a 3-4-3 or a 3-4-2-1 system. If Alonso does indeed go with either that 3-4-3 or 3-4-2-1 system, what would that mean for the players currently at Liverpool? Well, one question that I get asked a lot about is the wide players at Liverpool, Mohamed Salah, Lucho Diaz. Will their positions be somewhat under threat if Alonso comes in and sticks with his preferred method? The answer to that is quite possibly. You would expect that he may look to utilise them in a slightly different position. I'm certainly not trying to say that he'd be looking to push any of those players out the door. However, on the other side, the likes of Harvey Elliott and Fabio Carvalho, because Alonso mostly likes to play with 10s in his system, that will probably benefit and could give Fabio Carvalho an opportunity to come back into the first team fold at Liverpool, certainly more so than he would probably have had opportunities if Jurgen Klopp was still the manager. One dream scenario that many Liverpool fans have asked about, of course, is would he look to bring somebody like Florian Wirtz or Piero Hincapié with him from Leverkusen to Liverpool? I simply don't know the answer to that question. Some managers like to go back to their previous clubs. Others, like Jurgen Klopp, don't want to go back near their doorstep and leave them be. I hope he does bring Florian Wirtz with him if at all possible, because I think Florian Wirtz would be incredible in the Premier League, of course in this Liverpool team, and he's already worked with and knows Xabi Alonso very well. So next up, my friends, I'll just summarise my thoughts and then ask you guys to let us know your thoughts in the comment section. I guess I should summarise all this then before I finish up. Look, coming in after Jurgen Klopp to become Liverpool manager will be a difficult task for whomever it is. But it's also going to be a real opportunity. You've often heard me say that I'd like Liverpool managers to have certain attributes coming in. Of course, technical know-how is one. Experience at the top level is another. But I think if you're going to come and manage a club like Liverpool, you need to have that gravitas as well. And Xabi Alonso certainly has that. He also has a connection with the Liverpool fan base during his time playing for the club with such distinction. He's also known as being a bit of a, well, not a big time Charlie, not a flashy guy. He was known to frequent student bars and less posh institutions when he was here at Liverpool, and that of course endeared him to Liverpool fans as well. For me, I think it's a great appointment if we can get it done, and I think the addition of Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes will be one that will tempt Xabi Alonso to the role more so than perhaps going to Bayern Munich. Now, we can't rule out Bayern Munich in this equation, but I do think Liverpool are the firm favourites to land Alonso's signature. What we can't rule out, however, is if the wheels came off this title charge with Leverkusen, and I don't think they will. But if the wheels did come off, would he stay there for another year and want to put things right? Probably. But as I said, I don't think the wheels are going to come off. And my educated guess on this is that Xabi Alonso will be the next Liverpool manager. And I think we as Liverpool fans should be and could be very excited by it. So I've had my say now, my friends. It's over to you. Let us know your thoughts on the Alonso situation. Do you think he has enough experience to be the next manager? This is an answer I can't give you, and everybody will have their own opinion. But I do appreciate you watching, and I look forward to reading your comments. Keep an eye out for more of these type of videos coming soon. I'll be breaking down what you can expect and everything you need to know about Michael Edwards and a few other videos to get you through the international break. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you as always. We'll catch up soon. Bye-bye.